What does the Bat family do when they're not out being superheroes? Well, those stories are explored in the Wayne Family Adventures over on Webtoons, which is an officially licensed Batman project. And it's something that I have a lot of fun with because it does show a different side of the Bat family in general, a side that we don't normally see. Now, this is the Comicstorian channel. I go out there and find all the weird stuff in the world of comic books, put it together into an audio drama, allowing you to keep track of what's happening to your favorite superheroes. And today we're going to be continuing our coverage of Batman the Webtoons series, Wayne Family Adventures. We'll be kicking off with chapter 29 and, well, we'll see how far we get with it this time. The first story is Hangout. After getting their food, Tim says that it's really great for them to make the trip out to Gotham. It's been so long since they've hung out. Cassie says, to think, there hasn't been a single supervillain attack since they've been here. And Connor says that the city must be losing its touch. Bart then asks, what are we gonna do now? How about we go out to the movies? And Tim says, well, the Riddler took over all of the theaters nearby, so they're still closed from that. So Cassie asks, why do people seriously live here? And Connor brings up an interesting question. If only we knew someone with access to a giant mansion with a home theater system. Everyone stares at Tim as he tries to tell them, no, we can't. Bruce is having a dinner party, and I'm not getting roped into that. So Connor says, well, 3 of us have super speed. And Bart tells him, please! Tim says that he isn't risking the manor, but he does have somewhere else that they can go. So later in the Batcave, Tim says as long as Bruce is busy, they should be fine. Connor asks, what about snacks? And Tim says, well, we're really not supposed to eat near the Bat computer. So Bart says that he'll make a run to the kitchen, and before Tim could even say no, Bart was already back, being a speedster and all. Cassie tells Tim to just relax, and Connor says that Batman isn't that bad. Tim says, all right, as long as no one saw Bart, we're fine. Just promise me that no one's gonna tell Bruce about this. At that moment, Bruce's voice travels through the air. It is far too late for that. Would anyone care to explain what you're doing using the state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar computer to watch a movie? Suddenly, everyone disappears, with Tim being left on his own. He sighs, picking up everything else. Why do you always have to scare my friends? I have a reputation to maintain. Also, you know the rules about food near the computer, and it would be nice of you to make an appearance at the dinner party. Tim storms off, stating that he knew they should have met up in Smallville. The Kents are so much nicer. As Bruce yells out, I heard that! The next story is titled Driving Lessons. Even though Duke is normally a part of the day shift, Stephanie came to him with a very serious problem. Someone is trying to kill Batman with a combat drone and he needs backup with the Batmobile. But she can't drive it since she injured her arm. Duke tells her that she knows that he's never driven the Batmobile, right? And Steph smiles, telling him that there's no time like the present. Once they get in, Duke looks at the control panel, wondering which button to push to even start it. And as he reaches for one, Stephanie immediately tells him to stop. Don't hit that one. That one's the missiles. We don't fire the missiles in the Batcave anymore. After getting the car turned on, Duke races out into the streets of Gotham, with Stephanie spotting Batman being chased by the drone that she was talking about. Batman radios in that they need to get this thing off of his tail, so Steph goes ahead and switches the weapon controls to her. Duke slams his fist on a button, stating, this one, right? And just then, there's a click, and Steph's seat is ejected from the car. She radios back, I can't believe you did that! And Duke cries, telling her, it's not my fault! None of these buttons are marked! Batman just tells Duke, all right, I need you to fire a missile. Can you do it? And Duke yells, maybe that one, maybe! He activates the missiles with no issue, blowing up the drone, and Batman tells him nice work. Now go pick up Spoiler. Duke turns around, stating that he isn't going to be able to drive the Batmobile again, is he? But Steph reassures him. I almost took down a building on my first test drive. You'll be fine. The next story is Dirty Little Secret. Damian has always been prepared, very much like his father, always reading up on his enemies, knowing their weaknesses and secrets in the event that he needs to blackmail them. In fact, it isn't even hard to get secrets on everyone in the house, and it's a necessary evil. He refuses to be forced into doing somebody else's chores simply because he wasn't prepared. However, this one he has had trouble learning about. Jason Todd. His strengths are hand-to-hand combat, firearms, and being sarcastic, while his weaknesses are emotions, crowbars, and dying. There's gotta be more to it, right? As night comes around, Damian watches Jason from a distance and tries to learn a little bit more about him. But as Jason lights a match, he tosses it, outlining the phrase, "Stop following me, you little weirdo." Damian knew he had to dig further. While Jason is out on a case, Damian sneaks into Jason's apartment to try and find anything that he could use as leverage when he stumbles upon a book hidden under Jason's bed. He opens the box and the lights come on with Jason asking what is he doing. "You're gonna be in so much trouble." But Damian tells him, "You'll do no such thing now that I know your secret." He triumphantly holds up a book titled Pride and Prejudice, written by Jane Austen, shouting, "You read Jane Austen! It's a girl book!" Jason asks, "Have you actually read it before?" And Damian tells him no. So after a short while, Damian is flipping through the book, stating that he does not trust the Wickham character. He seems wrong for Elizabeth. Jason laughs. "Just keep reading." Damian then turns to Jason. "You're not going to tell anyone we hung out, right? Your secret is safe with me, kid." The next story is All Seeing, Part 1 and 2. For Cassandra, it's easy to pick a fight, especially when you can read body language. While helping Batman take out a group of thugs, her eyes shift from one man to the next, learning about them, seeing which side they favor, their potential weaknesses. Without hesitation, Cassandra strikes at these points to take down her foes, which often comes with praise from Batman himself. However, the thing is, she can't turn it off. So later, as she heads to Barbara's to watch a movie, she can see that Barbara is getting really excited. She tells Cassandra that Steph beat her here, so she's already claimed the best spot on the couch. Cassandra smiles, walking by, and when she sees Steph, she notices that she is a bit tense by slouching with her legs pressed together. Cassandra's conclusion is that there is something wrong with Steph. She asks what's the problem, and Steph tries to deflect it, but as Cassandra presses, Steph says that it's fine. She's just upset. She overslept and missed a big exam and might have to retake the whole course again. All she wanted was a night where she could relax, but apparently it's too much to ask for. Barbara tries to remedy the situation by changing the subject. "How about we forget about all of that and pick a movie?" And Steph simply tells them both that she'll take a rain check. Cassandra watches as Steph leaves, seeing that she is still slumped and slow moving, and concludes that she is hurting, which is the reason for bringing it up. She can see everyone's body language, and sometimes she wishes that she couldn't. As Cassandra and Barbara sit in silence, Barbara speaks up, stating that it wasn't her fault. Steph will be okay. But Cassandra says no, it's not. I hurt her, and I couldn't help it. Barbara tells her that she is a part of a family of detectives. They all see too much. But Cassandra says no, she is different. Her father taught her to see, not speak, to be the ultimate weapon. She thought that she could be more, but what if the only thing that she can do is hurt? Barbara takes Cassandra to a mirror, asking her what she sees, and Cassandra begins to analyze herself, noting her alert gaze, scars, calloused hands, and balanced weight like a fighter. Her conclusion is that she is a dangerous person, someone made for hurting. Barbara takes her hand and asks, "Do you know what I see? Someone who is strong, determined, someone who makes their own path no matter what anyone else says, someone who loves fiercely and would do anything for others. She sees a friend and a sister, someone that she can trust with her life. She sees a hero. Do you see it too?" Cassandra looks at herself again, but evaluates things a little differently. Alert gaze, so she is focused on what's important. Scars mean that she's unafraid to keep going. Calloused hands show that she is determined to defend the others. Conclusion, a hero. So later, Cassandra goes to Steph's apartment, and as Steph answers the door, she hugs her, telling her that she's sorry. Steph laughs, telling her that she knows she wasn't really mad at her, so how about she comes inside? They can call Babs over. So the three of them end up having their movie night without the worry about what will come tomorrow. The next story is recovery. Bruce groans as Alfred finishes tending to his wounds, telling him that he should have called for backup. He's lucky to have made it back in one piece. Bruce asks what about his attackers, and Tim says of course that would be his first question. Yeah, the GCPD has them, Bruce. Bruce then goes for his communicator, but Alfred smacks his hand, telling him, "None of that. You are in strict bed rest for the next few weeks, possibly longer." "Few weeks? Gotham can't wait that long. Bruce Wayne may have limits, but Batman doesn't." Bruce tries to argue that he's fine, but Alfred tells him that it's not up for debate. He is benched until further notice. As Bruce is left alone, he stares into the distance. "We'll see about that." In his first escape attempt, Bruce peeks out of his room with Alfred telling him not to even think about it. Attempt number 5, he tried to get through the window, all going according to plan, except Tim was already waiting for him at the bottom. As Tim helps Bruce back in, Bruce says that he'll pay him $1 million if he lets him into the Batcave, but Tim tells him no. Attempt 18, there was an entrance to the Batcave through the study. He decided if he can get there, he could, but Damien spins around catching Bruce, asking, "Are you going somewhere?" Bruce sighs. Apparently not. Attempt number 33, Bruce does succeed getting into the Batcave, except Jason is already there, stating that Alfred thought he might try something and asks for a hand. Bruce looks over and sees all of the Bat vehicles have their tires removed, and Jason tells him, "You'll thank me later." Bruce sulks as he begins to walk back upstairs, and Alfred asks what's wrong. Bruce begrudgingly tells him, "I've decided to rest. It'll be better for my injury." So Alfred helps him back up, telling him, "Most excellent decision, Master Bruce." The next one is GCPD. As the bat signal shines above the GCPD, Damien tells an officer that he's already examined the crime scene. They are clearly dealing with Victor Zsasz. They want to proceed with caution from here on out. The officer stares for a moment, telling him, "No offense, but shouldn't we wait for Batman? I'm just not exactly comfortable taking orders from a 6-year-old. Damien goes off on the officer, with Gordon and Renee watching. And Renee asks if the new guy is from Metropolis, and Gordon says yep. So Renee sips her coffee. Clearly he didn't get the memo about Robins. It takes some getting used to. Remember when we first started out? Gordon thinks back to his first interaction with Dick Grayson as Robin, and Batman just pretended he wasn't there. Even though Dick was clearly jumping around for attention, Batman simply told Gordon at the time, "Don't worry, the kid's with me." Renee laughs, telling him that nothing is compared to being saved by one of them. Renee was getting ready to arrest 2 men, but they decided that they were going to fight. Jason stepped in, and in Jason fashion, he beat the men up, stating that he knows that he's awesome. Renee asked how old he was, and Jason told her old enough to kick her butt. Gordon says that he isn't so sure about that. Getting lectured by one of them is way worse, which he's referring to the time that Tim explained how Scarecrow's fear toxin actually worked. And when one of the officers asked a question, Tim told him to please hold all questions until he's finished. Renee scoffs, telling him that lectures aren't fun, but at least they don't solve the case for you. Stephanie just handed in a piece of paper stating that she answered all of Nigma's riddles 10 minutes after they came out. Steph told her that she knows it's been ages. You're welcome. Gordon sips his coffee, telling her, "We have the weirdest jobs, and it's all Batman's fault." And Renee toasts him. Amen to that. And that is as far as we're going to go with Batman Webtoons this week. Now don't forget, if you want more of this, just like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, or you can click the link down below to go read more Batman Webtoons, because they've concluded the entire run of this. It's just a lot of little chapters like this, so I'm trying to lump them into a series. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you do know when we continue this, and I will see you next time